where news comes first. This is ABC-7 Extra.
And welcome to ABC-7 Extra Sunday. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Ross. Back in April of 2023, ABC-7 began a new monthly segment on our 4 p.m. newscast called Inside the FBI to give you, our viewers, a look at the many initiatives and programs at the El Paso office of the FBI. And tonight on ABC-7 Extra Sunday, we're expanding that segment to a full half hour to cover 3 topics with information to keep you and your family safe. I'm joined by Special Agent Jeanette Harper, the Public Affairs Officer for the FBI's El Paso Field Office. Special Agent Harper, thank you for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's start with a problem that seems to be growing literally by the day, and that's online threats made towards schools. How many of these online threats is the El Paso FBI office seeing?
So it varies, but each school in the entire El Paso County, so that's all the school districts, each school is getting 1 to 2 threats a day. So they vary from severity to extreme, like a bomb threat or a shooting threat. So each school is dealing with that on a day-to-day basis.
All right, so take us through the process. Is the FBI called in once a school district reports that they've had a threat made to their school? How does that work?
So yes, they do reach out to us because we do provide them intelligence resources or the ability to identify who the poster is, right? So we're able to help them figure out who either the student or the adult, where that person is located. So we just work side by side with the ISD police departments as well as the state and the locals.
And you were telling me before we came on tonight that through the course of this past week there have been a number of school threats, and some of those were made not necessarily in town.
That's correct. From what we see is there's a lot of incidences. So I don't know if many knew, on Tuesday the entire state of Texas was receiving hoax threats for all the schools across. So we had several here in Dallas, Houston. We were seeing it all over the state of Texas. Those threats are people from other states or even outside the United States, because when you see a major event like what happened in Georgia, we always see an influx of these type of hoax threats. Now, Wednesday, we're starting to see a few here locally at certain schools, and those are from people in the El Paso area.
Now, the El Paso District Attorney's Office, local school districts, the FBI, and other agencies recently released a public service message to every school in El Paso County to make sure the online threats are no joke. And let's take a look at that right now.
Police, search arrest warrant. Police, search arrest warrant. Sir, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Hands on top of your head. How many people in the house? 3. Step into the living room. Ma'am, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Walk towards me. How many people in the house?
3.
3? Take a seat for me. Moving. Room coming up.
Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Get off the bed slowly! Keep your hands up! Move! Now turn! 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 Stop! Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for terroristic threat. Making a bomb threat.
Think before you post. School threats are no joke. This message was brought to you by the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office and our partners. Our united law enforcement community takes these threats very seriously.
And Special Agent Harper, responding to these threats can certainly be time-consuming for all of the agencies involved.
Yes, because we have to treat each threat as it's a real event, right? So even though everybody gets bored with it, thinking, oh, it's just another hoax, we treat each event. So we pull law enforcement resources off the street to be able to respond to that threat, either straight to the school or they're in the background trying to identify who the poster is. So that can leave individuals in the community without the proper law enforcement resources. And if we're reporting to a school, people could get hurt in that line when there's a response, just innocence. So it's something that we can't take where it'll be on our watch. We respond in full force to each threat.
And this is certainly one area where parents really need to keep an eye on their kids when they're on social media.
Yes, so what we see is they need to really keep track of what their kids are posting, who their friends are. Keep track of your children's mood, right? Like if they're being withdrawn, some of these posts we find are a cry for help. So there's something there that the child may need some mental health services. They may be depressed, they may be overstressed. We see a lot of kids doing these threats because they're not ready to take that test that they have the next day. So it's just, or they think it's a joke, or they want popularity, or they're actually trying to go after revenge or go after someone. So the parents really need to stay on top of what their children are posting because it's not just a joke. It could affect them in their college life. They may not even get the scholarships that they want or the colleges that they want to get into. So it is a severe thing.
Still to come, how the FBI is working to protect you from online scams. We'll have some tips to help keep you from becoming a victim. Stay with us. You're watching ABC-7 Extra Sunday.
We've never spoken, but you've told us many things. You told us you love stargazing, almost as much as you hate parallel parking. That heavy right foot of yours? We got you. The Lexus ES didn't begin in a studio, it began with you.
Get special offers on select Lexus ES models.
As a doctor, I take an oath to help anyone that needs it. But Yvette Harrell believes women who are victims don't deserve care. Harrell supported a national ban on all abortions, with no exceptions.
I wish we could have eliminated all abortion in this state.
And Harrell pushed prison time for women who get abortions, even rape victims. Yvette Harrell is wrong. Women deserve care, not prison. HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
When emergency strikes, go to the trusted name in emergency care, El Paso Emergency Room. Board-certified physicians are on duty 24/7. Faces you can trust. No waiting is our promise. El Pasoans caring for El Pasoans. El Paso Emergency Room. 2 locations east and west.
Enroll now at Southwest University, where your future meets flexibility. With in-person classes only 2 days a week, our innovative schedule allows you to balance work, family, and education. Become a nurse, surgical tech, or medical assistant. We offer flexible schedules and short terms for you to finish faster. For more information, visit us at southwestuniversity.edu. Southwest University, 25 years, making you happen.
Watch Smart Money Thursday on ABC-7 at 4 with Myro Capital Management. You'll learn how to save money the right way and make better decisions to set you and your family up for financial success. Smart Money Thursday on ABC-7 at 4, sponsored by Myro Capital Management.
Welcome back to ABC-7 Extra Sunday. I'm Mark Ross. Tonight we're taking you inside the FBI with Special Agent Jeanette Harper, the Public Affairs Officer for the El Paso FBI Field Office. Special Agent Harper, let's turn our attention now to online threats, spoofing, phishing, vishing, so forth. And this all seems to take on some added importance due to that recent data hack from National Public Data that millions of names, addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, social security numbers First of all, what is spoofing?
Spoofing is when someone disguises an email address or a sender name, phone number, or website URL, often by just changing one letter, a symbol, or a number, to convince you that you're interacting with a trusted source. For example, you might receive an email that looks like it's from your boss, a company you've done business with, or even someone in your family, but it actually isn't. Criminals count on being able to manipulate into believing that these spoof communications are real, which can lead you to download malicious software, send money, disclose personal or financial or other sensitive information.
Now, what about phishing?
So phishing schemes often use spoofing techniques to lure you in and get you to take the bait. These scams are designed to trick you into giving information to criminals that they shouldn't have access to. In a phishing scam, you might receive an email that appears to be from a legitimate business and is asking you to update or verify your personal information by replying to the email or visiting a website. That web address might look similar to the one you've used before. The email may be convincing enough to get you to take the action requested, but once you click on that link, you've sent to a spoof website that might look nearly identical to the real thing, like your bank or credit card site, and asked to enter sensitive information like password, credit card numbers, banking pins, etc. These fake websites are used solely to steal your information.
And phishing has evolved. So what are vishing, smishing, and farming?
Yes, that's all there. So vishing scams happen over the phone, voicemail, or voice emails, or VoIP over internet protocol calls. Smishing scams happen through the SMS or texting messages, and farming scams happen when malicious code is installed on your computer to redirect you to fake websites.
So what are the things you can do to protect yourself?
Remember that companies generally don't contact you to ask for your username or password. Don't click on anything in an unsolicited email or a text message. Look up the company's phone number on your own. Don't use one a potential scammer is providing, and call the company to ask if the request is legitimate. Carefully examine the email address, the URL, and a spelling in any correspondence. Scammers use slight differences, just like in their font, to trick your eyes and gain your trust.
And I've certainly seen examples of that. How else can you protect yourself?
Just be careful what you download. Never open an email attachment from someone you do not know, and be wary of email attachments forwarded to you. Set up a two-factor or multi-factor authentication on any account that allows it, and never disable it. Be careful with what information you share online or on social media. By openly sharing things like pet names, schools you attended, family members, and your birthday, you can give a scammer all the information they need to guess your password or answer your security questions.
And I've certainly seen that on Facebook where they say, you know, what's your favorite movie that you've seen? Or what was the last great meal you had? You know, things that people might use.
Yes.
For their passwords.
And it's just testing you out to see what your likes and dislikes and what you may formulate for a password.
Still ahead, we've got another pressing issue that could affect you or a family member. It's called financially motivated sextortion. And we'll tell you how the FBI is working to protect you. Stay with us. You're watching ABC-7 Extra Sunday.
Right after a crash, insurance companies began crafting excuses to not pay you. That's why we get to work immediately.
We're with you every step of the way, guiding you through the process, taking on the insurance companies, handling your medical bills, and work-related issues.
We know the law, and we're not afraid to take those responsible to court. Our experts will expose the defense team's lies and hold them accountable.
Donnie Acosta and Chaparro became my voice. I took my case to trial and won. That was the best call I ever made.
Start a new career and enroll now at Southwest University. Enroll today and become a professional in nursing, X-ray, or sonography. Southwest University offers flexible schedules and short terms for you to finish faster. Don't wait. Be heard at Southwest University and take the next step in your professional journey today. For more information, visit us at southwestuniversity.edu. Southwest University. 25 years making you happen.
Gabe Vasquez wants to defund the police.
The police department, or sometimes actually replace them responding to events altogether with licensed psychologists.
Trading cops for psychologists.
The police department, we don't need those positions anymore, then we need to get rid of them.
He wants to get rid of the police. Again.
It's not just about defunding the police, it's about defunding a system.
Yes, Gabe Vasquez wants to defund the police. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
America.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes! Woohoo!
The 2024 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
And welcome back to ABC-7 Extra Sunday. I'm Mark Ross. My guest tonight is Special Agent Jeanette Harper, the Public Affairs Officer for the FBI El Paso Field Office. Okay, here is a scenario. A teenager just met a new friend online. The conversation starts with, "Hey, I love gaming too. Let's chat." And it eventually escalates to a request for some sexually explicit pictures. The child complies and the predator demands money, or the photos will get released, and it's a crime called financially motivated sextortion. And it can't happen just to kids, it can really happen to anyone. So first of all, let's talk about who commits financially motivated sexploitation and why.
So predators are usually located outside the United States, but that's not necessarily that it doesn't happen. We have predators here. But most of them outside the United States are primarily in West African countries such as Nigeria and the Ivory Coast, or Southeast Asian countries such as the Philippines. Predators are motivated by financial gain. They will request money transfers, gift cards, and even cryptocurrency.
Now, does a predator target a victim? How old are those victims usually?
So predators identify and target children, typically boys between 14 and 17 when it comes to the financial sextortion. But any child can be a victim. We've seen children as young as 11 years old. They are targeted through social media platforms, online gaming systems, gaming consoles, live streaming and video platforms, and messaging apps. Predators are often pretend to relate to the victims, whether that's pretending to be their age, have similar interests, or live in the same area. They are easily misrepresent themselves online to appear to be friendly and age appropriate. Predators may target several boys who appear to know each other.
So then what does a predator's profile look like?
They typically create profiles that look like they belong to teenage girls. Predator accounts may have very few followers and look new. In some cases, predators might follow other people you or your child know. The predators sometimes hack legitimate accounts known to victims, or they may create copycat accounts to appear as if there's someone that the victim already knows.
What happens after a predator identifies a potential victim?
Predators often ask victims to switch to a platform that lets them video call or get them away from the group, as in a private area. Then predators ask children to send sexually explicit images and videos or engage in sexually explicit activities via video call. Then they capture that material without the victim's knowledge. And in some cases, predators will promise to send sexually explicit material back, or they will send material to encourage their victim to do the same. Predators begin extorting their victims immediately after receiving the sexually explicit image. They threaten to send the image to family, friends, social media followers, to schools, and elsewhere unless the child pays money in some form. And as part of the threat, predators sometimes send screenshots showing the child's social media followers, friends, and family. And additionally, sometimes they create images to elicit a response from the child, like a fake news headline about the arrest of a child, a collage containing sexually explicit material and identifying information, a draft of a social media post that would distribute the sexually explicit material, and the predators demands various forms of payment, including gift cards, both e-gift cards and codes from physical cards, mobile payment services, wire transfers, and cryptocurrency. The predators sometimes distribute the images even if the child pays.
All right, but what if the child has not sent the predator anything?
Even if a child doesn't produce sexually explicit material, predators will sometimes create one and try to extort the child, and we've seen a lot of that with AI. The predator manipulates the child into video calling or sending a photo of their face, and then using editing software and combines that image with an explicit image they found online.
All right, so what should parents do if their child or someone they know is being exploited?
Contact the FBI El Paso office, or you can call the El Paso at call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI, or report it online to tips.fbi.gov if you or your child or someone you know is being exploited. Remember, you are not alone, and this is not your fault. Anyone being exploited should also report the predator's account via the platform's safety feature, block the predator from contacting you, and save the profile or messages. Those can help law enforcement identify and stop the predator. Ask for help from a trusted adult or law enforcement before sending money or more images. Cooperating with the predator rarely stops the blackmail and harassment, but law enforcement can.
Special Agent Jeanette Harper with the El Paso FBI office. Some great information.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight to share that with us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Ross. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll see you next Sunday night.